Come and talk to me, I really wanna know your thoughts. Come bust it up with your girl. Just be you, just Jocelyn, keeping it real.
Hey guys, welcome to Talk to Me Tuesday. I'm your host, Just Jocelyn. Today we have an amazing show lined up. Today is season 7, episode 15. I got a story to tell. I have some amazing ladies here on our panel. We all got different stories to tell. We're going to talk about our journeys and how we're all on the road to success in our different areas and arenas. So hope you guys enjoy the show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We got our studio audience in the building. I'm going to give my guests a chance to introduce themselves. And we're going to start with Aliyah. Am I right?
Okay. Hey, so I'm Neerali, and I don't know exactly what you want me to say, but I'm a poet, spoken word artist here in Philly, and yeah, I'm really, really excited to be here. Jocelyn's been a host to a few of the shows that I've done in Philly, and she's like had this amazing energy every time, and I was like, I've been really excited all day the past few days to come out here. So yeah.
Oh, thanks. I love that. Thank you. Well, welcome, girl.
Hello, my name is Loresa Daniel. I'm the owner of Brown Baby Cakes. At Brown Baby Cakes, we try to support positive Black childhood images.
Nice.
So we sell notebooks and t-shirts with Black children's faces on it to try to create a representation of positive images for them to reflect on.
Yes, represent for the little young queen princess. I love it. We're going to hear more about that later. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, how are you? Hey guys, my name is GoGetter Jay. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a mom, and I'm excited to be here as well. I love Jocelyn because she has all this like vibrant energy. Every time I see her host and anybody I've seen her interact with, it's just always the same energy.
Yeah.
So that's love. So
They making me feel real good today. I'm not even gonna lie, because I was feeling a little like shit. They making me feel good. I can appreciate the queen vibes today. Thank you. Y'all giving me life. Cause whoo. Hey girl, hey. Last but totally not least.
My name is Aliyah Michelle. I'm also a poet, spoken word author, artist.
Let's go on.
Yeah.
Well, y'all know me. So, y'all see I got my queens here. We're going to get right into the topic. And I just wanted to invite you guys all out because, like I said, we're all on our different journeys. You guys are all, as you stated, doing something different, whether it's for the community, speaking to our young queens, or, just interacting with other females, interacting and inspiring, motivating. So I just wanted us to come together today and kind of share our stories because so often, especially with us in the public light, it's like, oh, well, she's doing this and she's doing that, but how did she get there? Why is she doing what she's doing? What has led you to do spoken word, or what has led you? So that's what I want to get into. Let these people know as they're supporting you and supporting your movement, but understand the story behind it. So we're gonna get real. Listen, they already know they don't talk to me Tuesday, so we don't do no sugarcoat. We go beyond the surface. We're not gonna get no cute answers because I'm gonna just keep on digging. So if I ask you a question, just feel free, open up, and just let your people know because these are your viewers, your followers, your supporters, and I think that it's always important to give them a little bit deeper. So that's what we're gonna get into today. Y'all cool with that?
yeah.
All right, so I'll start. I really just, of course, want to know why we all got started. You could give me the Reader's Digest version, and if it sounds too watered down, then I'll just come back around and then, then ask again. I know for myself, as far as Talk to Me Tuesday, it's just something that I enjoy. I always like networking with people. I like to talk to people. People like to talk to me. People think I have great conversations. So it's like, well, hey, let's chat and share the conversation. So that's how I know that I got started with this particular show. And even though what you guys are referencing as far as the energy that I have and everything like that, it's just my natural personality. So I'm just like, well, I'm already being myself, and y'all are fucking with it. So come on and let me just share with the world. So that's my Reader's Digest version. And as we go around, we can get a little deeper. I'm gonna start with Ms. J.
Okay, I really got into it because it was something I loved. I wanted to be able to leave my job, and I needed to find out how and why, okay, what do I want to leave my job for, and how I'm going to make it happen. So that was how I got into entrepreneurship.
Okay.
It's just a push for me.
So just being your own boss, like just that whole idea
Being
of not
able to
working
be
for
home with
anybody.
the kids,
Okay.
being able to make my own schedule, just being able to be a little bit free, watch my health, watch, because I had things going on, so I just wanted to live a better lifestyle, and I felt like working in corporate wasn't going to continue to be able to lead me to where I wanted to get.
I know that's right.
Wasn't happening.
I always just kind of been real shy. I've
Okay.
been writing poetry since I was probably like 11, 12 years old.
Okay.
So me coming out and actually like reciting poetry in front of a bunch of people was like my challenge for myself.
Okay.
What I wanted to do was I suck at talking to people. I'm so shy. I was just looking around. I'm always by myself. I just like, all right. But like getting into like the poetry scene, I met a lot of good people. Started networking, so I was just like, okay.
I can do it. So you always had the words, but it was just more so the performing aspect. You just wasn't there for that.
Yeah.
I can dig it. I'm so the opposite, obviously. I might not have as many words, but I'll talk in front of a group of people and I'll freestyle. So I feel you on that.
Oh, well, I got into brown baby cakes actually through a mentor of mine. So someone who I considered a professional mentor became a good friend of mine, and she actually started the brand Brown Baby Cakes.
Okay.
And then she got promoted in her corporate job and had to move away from the area, and she asked me if I would take on the reins and kind of keep the brand alive. So I can really attest to sisterhood and what that means to me in my life. And I told her that I would only agree to do it if my daughters could be my partners.
Oh.
So I feel like not only am I able to see children see themselves reflected in the merchandise that we sell, I get to instill an entrepreneurial spirit in children's minds to know that they can own a business, they can run it, they can be the boss, they learn
They can
business
do whatever they want to do, young kings. Whatever you want to do, you can do it.
Absolutely.
No limit. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, for me, poetry and writing kind of comes from, well, like for a lot of poets, it was always kind of a part of me, but like how I really kind of got into it more seriously is the way that I see it is I come from a culture, I'm Indian, and the culture that I grew up with and the family that I was raised in was pretty conservative, and expression and voicing your thoughts freely was not the norm. Was not the norm, and like not to stereotype my culture, but that's just something that kind of came from. And I found like I had just a lot to say, so it kind of came more from like the intensity. I think comes from like being from that background, like I'm gonna say it in spite of this fact, like in spite of the fact that I'm not allowed to say it, I'm gonna do it because I can't, like you know what I mean? It's kind of.
So is it like a rebellion? So would you say that your poetry is like a rebellion against your culture, so to speak?
Unintentionally sometimes. It's not like I wake up and think like, I want to start a fight. Like, I can't hit almost like fights, but yeah, like oftentimes the way that I've done things, like my family, we're getting real today, has really like, for me it's not just people think poets and they think like these cute little like, emotional people. I'm like, I had to fight to be a poet with my family, you know what I mean? Like, or fight to be an artist and express myself freely. So the things that we take for granted sometimes in America or Western culture is like other parts of the world, other cultures, it's like women aren't allowed to say some things or do some things or wear some things, and so yeah, for me it comes from being like, I just wasn't allowed to do a lot of this, so now I'm gonna go hard.
Right, and that's what I was gonna say, and I'll just start with you because I have a comment for each person, but I wanted to start with you, like I said, with the asking you in regards to rebellion for your culture, because I do know that you're Indian, and I don't know mostly just the stereotypes, so, but do you feel that you're like the voice of basically like all of the women that can't speak? Is that a lot of pressure? I feel like I would take on that pressure, but it does give.
Yeah, but it's a good question to start with, because like with any community, when a person or certain people become like the known people or like the voice, and they are expected to or feel expected to become a representative of sorts, right? But I think it's just a personal choice. For me, I think that's way too much pressure, and then. Also, like, a lot of the stuff that I write about isn't about being Indian. It's just like, I write about love. I write about things that everyone else writes about. It's just that I come from a culture where those things weren't done freely. So I do know poets that really, or South Asian poets or Indian poets that really specialize in like kind of being social and political.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like their angle. But for me, like you see my stuff, I'm kind of just like whatever I feel
But
like.
I think that, and that's really why I had that question, because you are just speaking, you're just a woman and you're speaking about things that all women are experiencing, but it just so happens that, you know, other women in your culture can't speak about it regardless. So it's like, it's not even necessarily political. It's just like, I just have something to say.
Yeah,
But a lot of
exactly.
people like have to say
It's like
as
the
well.
question of like, oh, like the second that a woman opens her mouth to say something, someone says, oh, it's women empowerment. It's like, no, I'm just a human being talking.
That's
You're
true.
calling it women empowerment. I'm just talking.
Oh yeah, she brought up something good. I'm gonna go right into that. Let's go right into that. I'm gonna get to my other question. So the woman empowerment, you know, and I give air quotes because it's like a little thing. So I feel like it's a movement, and I'm here for it. You know, if we're all being empowered, we're all being inspired, it's amazing. But I feel like so many people are negatively like capitalizing on it. And, like I just saw that there was like a woman empowerment event, you know, hosted by me and put on by me, and it's just like, well, you know, I hope that the men are trying to inspire and empower us as well, but it's just like, is it just like the new phase? Now everything is a woman empowerment event.
Black Lives Matter.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like everything is woman empowerment, woman empowered. If I throw this on the title of my event, then everybody's gonna come, y'all gonna come. Because what does that look like? So what is woman empowerment to you, Aliyah?
Women empowerment is just, you know, helping each other rise up, because a lot of women, as women, a lot of times, surprisingly, we don't support each other. And for whatever reason, I'm not sure, but I just feel like I don't, because it's like, even with poetry, it's like, it's so many women that I met, and it's like, they supported me like that without even really knowing me. So it's like, I just feel like it's just supporting your sister and whatever they're doing. It's not, it don't have to be even with just money. It can be as much as like posting something or telling other people that might be interested or something like that. I feel like that's women empowerment.
Okay. Anybody have a different answer or want to add on to it?
Well, I agree with Aliyah, but I think that I come from a traditional African perspective where I feel as though my culture should be prevalent, because in this Western society it's definitely not. So for me, my children are actually bi-ethnic, meaning their father is Colombian and obviously I'm African American. But I make it clear to them that the world will view them as black women when they come of age. So I tell people I'm raising little black women and that they're clear in that. So although they appreciate the Colombian Hispanic side of where they come from, I think that especially amongst us, I have to be quite clear. I'm about African spirituality and black women empowerment on that level. Because, I mean, like you said about being an entrepreneur, you could work in a corporate job, which I do now. So I'm at the intersection of my life where I'm ready to relinquish that and try to be more, you know, in control of my own destiny. So I just feel like spirituality and what you believe in is a major proponent in empowering you and doing that. And going back to like the source and the core of where, you know, where we come from.
All right.
Hey, it's Neerali. I'm here with Just Jocelyn at Talk to Me Tuesday, and you can catch this show every Tuesday at 9 p.m.
I'm like, oh God, what does this mean? Like, what the?
It's just so, for me, I always say the youth is our proof. So like, my biggest thing is always the youth, whether it's a boy or girl. And I say that because I feel like they are a clear, like I feel like I always tell people, like I meet a lot of people, I meet, you know, entrepreneurs, poets, politicians, everywhere I go I meet people. And, you know, when in conversation, I always say, well, you want to know what's going on with the city, you look at the youth. You know, because whether it's politics, whether it's the education, whether it's the streets, whatever is going on in our world, the youth is a clear indication of how well we're doing. So I'm really just still clear of like, I don't think I support women, don't get me wrong, but I don't have any type of events or any type of with that caption, or I don't flee or go gravitate towards that, because for me a lot of times, like what you said, some people are just like going on and utilizing it for other causes and intentions. And so like even with, you other things that they may do. Like, I just feel like I'm a person of my community. Like, I'm not, an example of my community, but I just feel like I care about my community no matter who it may be within the community.
Right.
And I support all of them, the women, the kids, the men,
right.
whoever it is. So I stay clear from that, particularly not for any other reason other than sometimes, like I said, people, are just doing whatever they're doing for
that
not a good
intent.
reason.
Right. About that
Intention.
intent.
So. But,
yeah, sure.
I just kept thinking, because I think for me, the way I see women empowerment, sometimes it can just be stepping into the fullest version of yourself, and that could liberate someone else to be themselves. Because for me personally, sometimes women empowerment feels like I have to connect with people that I don't necessarily feel an authentic connection with. And it's not because it's malicious or I'm against them.
It's like, I don't want to
you just don't have a connection.
Yes.
To fake, I think it's worse to fake it under the guise of women empowerment than just to be your real self and live your life as unapologetically as you can live it. Because a lot of with the whole branding thing, if it just becomes a show thing, right? You're suppressing how you actually feel,
right.
And how you actually feel about someone. It's like you're not really feeling their work. It's not because you're against women or you're against their work, but it's just not who you are right now.
I'm just not feeling you.
Yeah.
It's just that simple. I'm not feeling you.
So I'd rather just be real. I'd rather just be real. And for me, women empowerment is just like exploring different sides of my femininity, being, even like the vices, like the jealous side sometimes, like the dark side, and that's really being believable to me.
Okay. I just wanted to know. You guys can share, of course, y'all can share your opinions, and give us your comments if y'all have any questions. But I definitely, no, seriously, but it doesn't matter because I do feel that, like Neerali said, when you throw that title underneath something, now it makes me feel like, well, what am I coming here to do? Do I have to be Joe with all these girls? Oh, I love her, and I love her, and I love her, because we're all women. Well, again, the vices and the catty parts is, well, I respect you as a woman, but I don't fucking like you.
Yeah.
So I don't want to take pictures with you. I don't want to do business with you. I don't agree with a lot of the way you handle business. Your hair don't look right. And I don't want to feel like I'm not a good woman and I'm not empowering my sisters because, I came to this event and now she's being a bitch. It's like, well, if we're being honest, we don't all like each other. But, of course, that level of respect has to be
space
there.
for being human.
Yeah. So I just retake that little segue because Neerali brought it up and I just had to go there because I've seen so many, it's a woman empowerment. I'm just like, okay, so what does that mean? Like, give me some more, what are we going to do here? It just, when I hear it now, like originally I just think, like I said, woman empowerment, like just the word empowerment is just empowering yourself and it does start with you. It's just like, it's all about me. I can't help this tens of millions of the masses if I'm all fucked up. I'm a woman, I need to empower myself. And then, if you see what I'm doing and you feel empowered and inspired and motivated, then great. That's amazing. And I'm honored.
Exactly.
But other than that, it's just like, well, I'm not
get through my day in one piece.
Right.
But you're going to have to just watch me live because I'm not out here, like, it's that pressure aspect. Now I'm out here because I'm a woman empowerment advocate, and now it's just like the weight of the world is on me. Y'all don't want to be like me. Don't use me as your example, but it gives you that whole, like when I think of it now, it's just like, well, are we about to do like a march? Like, it gives you that 1 million woman march thing, like, okay, hold on, because they just throw that title on everything. So I wasn't trying to throw shade to none of the people, huh?
So that's why I think a brand you.
Right, because just like, well, wait a minute, I empower everybody.
I want to work with her. All she does is women empowerment.
Exactly, because then I'll worry about all the guys that got money too, and I want to work with them. Well, she only do women empowerment stuff, so so that's enough. I heard a couple of you guys mention the things that we do for our children. So who has children at this age?
I do.
Okay, so you all got kids, you don't have kids. That's okay, girl. Switch. But I didn't say that. I love my children. Okay, we'll get to the question. I think I should have said that, so that's why we have a question. What's the question? Because that wasn't right.
How does your empowerment play out in corporate America?
Sheesh. Anybody got a corporate job? Yep.
I had one.
I've had several.
I mean,
And I'm gonna put it on purpose. Shout out to Chandler.
I've had quite a few.
It is difficult. I guess it has two parts to it, and I say, in my experience, being in upper class management is what they would call it.
They always throw a title.
They always throw a title on it. Yeah, you still just working. But
I like that. You still just working.
Pocket of dollars. But I would say it has like it's a two-part to it because of course it has its alphas and betas, you know, like its ups and downs. And I guess as far as it playing out, to answer their question, is for me, I've always used my position to again help my community. Like I'm really big on the children. I'm really big on like giving people second chances. So like if I'm getting opportunities where I can give people in a community better positions, not the positions that they got to struggle for, and it could be better management, making good money. I done pulled them all in, trust me. I done pulled them all in.
She said y'all bringing the whole hood in before I quit this shop, okay? Everybody got a job. John, T, Mama.
But it's just, it's worked because I've had people transition out of those positions into better positions. And I get calls, and there's nothing more rewarding for me to get a call saying, hey, Miss J, look, I'm working for the city right now. Like, I'm doing this. I had a guy, he was down on his luck. He used to be a truck driver, lost his license, and I gave him a position and I got my CDL back. I'm back on the road. Like that's good, for me. That's how that's rewarding for me. So I guess it plays out in the sense that it has its ups and downs. It's always a fight for me. When I was in corporate, I don't know if anything.
Well, she's still in there, so let's see what she got. Because I've been out the game for a while, and I was only just working. Like I'm doing this much. Just enough to get my little money. I'm doing shit extra. I'm using the company computer to print out my shit and email my dad. But I don't work there no more. So what y'all gonna do? Yeah, I printed all my stuff. Y'all Wi-Fi. I'm using color print. And if y'all got some good paper in there, I'm using that too, making booklets and all types of shit. So it's all good. Go ahead.
It's challenging. I feel like I've had good experiences, like you said, ups and downs. Where when I lived in New York, I worked for the Department of Labor, and I was able to meet a lot of good people who were just in bad situations. And to me, the most rewarding part of that was just educating them that they can be empowered. Like even though you don't know how to do an email or you don't know how to make a resume, able to tell them you're capable of doing those things and seeing that kind of light shine in their faces. Like I didn't think I could ever do that. Yeah. Or I never thought I would. That's right. Putting them on themselves. So breaking those type of chains was the most valuable to me. Okay. So I'm another entity. It's different.
Now the other part.
Hi, this is Loresa
from Cakes.
We're here with Just Jocelyn at Talk to Me Tuesdays. See her live every Tuesday at 9 p.m.
Because I'm assuming you live down here now. I don't know what New York like is like.
Jersey on the other part. So the other part, is just the backbiting, self-centeredness. Like some people just don't. I mean, for me, I've been unemployed. Yeah. For me, there's been years where I've worked seasonal jobs to try to provide for my children. Mm-hmm. So I appreciate what I have. But I was just having this conversation with my brother. He doesn't know he's one of my greatest mentors and influencers. Wow. But I told him that my life was never going to be about a job. Mm-hmm. Like God is always going to provide for me. So when the job gets too stressful, like when you're talking about taking care of your health, things like that, like I don't live for a job. I live for my kids. Mm-hmm. God's going to provide because that's my purpose in life. That's just how I live it. So that's why I said I'm at that intersection now of this ain't for me.
And I'm a strong believer of, because I'm not like against jobs, right? Listen, we all got to eat. Whatever you got to do, whatever you got to sell, listen, don't, maybe another show. Whatever you have to do to make sure, like you said, those kids eat, you eat, roof over your head, clothes on your back. I'm here for it, but so many people do have that live for the job, or they get so wrapped up in it. And everybody's not meant to be an entrepreneur. It's not like, oh, just quit your job, or you work for the man and you ain't shit. Like, I think that's a trend now too, because that's a whole nother one. Networking this and an entrepreneur, that's just like, y'all are flooding the entrepreneur world. Y'all need to get the fuck out the way, because y'all know what y'all doing. Y'all not good for this, and it's not for everybody. If there's no workers, then who's gonna work for me? We can't all be bosses. Somebody has to work for us. So understanding your place in the circle of life, and if you are at a job, then making sure that it's working for you. I think that we get wrapped up in, especially in corporate jobs, because it's just like, oh, I'm working this job based on like, oh, I work for the city, or oh, I work for a hospital, or I work, and it's like that idea like this is a good job. Right. Versus I could work at the Gap and be happy as hell. Like, you know what? I like clothes, I like people, I'm getting discounts, I'm buying your stuff and then charging you like 10%, and I'm gonna get the 20%. Listen.
You have to think like sometimes like people pick up these corporate jobs sometimes just aside from the money and stability, just so they can say they have this steady job, it's like a reputation status thing.
And they be the ones that get laid off first.
Yeah, or like you could be like 10 million times happier working a job that's like you said, like at the Gap or under, manager.
Don't say the Gap no more, because they ain't not sponsored the show.
I think you said the Gap.
I did. I was just saying. I think you guys said they came like 3 times.
Whatever it is, but I think I struggle with that too, because like again, not to make everything about my culture, but in my culture, status and what you do, where you work, what your titles are so important. So like when we have family friend get-togethers, it's like the first thing people ask.
Yes.
And
in our culture too.
It's true everywhere, but I think for me it's just noticing like if you're okay with that little bit of discomfort of just not being able to answer that question at a family party, then you can be so much more happier in your life. Just not having to live your life to have that one answer.
And that's the flip to it, because the flip is so many people literally are living in prison just to answer that question. It's like, oh yes, I'm the VP of such and such, and it's just like, but you're literally on the edge. And I don't play with certain things. You're on the edge. I've been at a job that I'm like, oh, I make nice money. I got a nice little schedule.
At the same time, there's like a lot of people in those jobs, like, kudos to them for doing that with miserable. Or like period. Miserable. Some people actually need that and find a lot of happiness in having that structure. It depends on who you are too. And
that's what I say. I just say work the job that you want. It's a million jobs out here, so it doesn't always have to look how the next person does or the person in your family. Whatever job gives you that happiness, and you still can feed your kids and get your hair done and stuff like that. So that's why I wanted to ask you about the kids, because I know a lot of people, we live for our children. So real quick, how many kids you got? 2. How old are your kids?
7 and 11.
Hey girls, I think they're the funniest, because she was saying like right here. Don't say that bad about us.
They've been okay with all the content, so
I think they're okay. I wasn't okay. Y'all know I got 2 kids, they get on my nerves, but just wanted to wonder. I have a 17-year-old and a soon-to-be 13-year-old.
I had a 6-year-old son.
6-year-old. I have a 10-year-old, and a 3-year-old, and a 4-year-old.
Okay. Back. So I'm quitting this job. I got to hold these kids.
So I didn't have to bear it.
Okay. Well, that does make a difference on the situation. So I know that you mentioned, your kids being a real big part of your motivation with getting brown baby cakes together. So how about you? I know that we talked about our kids being our purpose behind making money, but how do your kids relate, or having children relate to what it is that you're doing? How do they intertwine in this story to push you to either do what you're doing, or maybe have stopped you in the past from doing what you wanted to do?
I know I've experienced both of that, because I've been in business for like 10 years, but I stopped 4 years ago because it was like business was taking over with the traveling schedule. He was getting older. My daughter wasn't even quite born yet, but it was just like, it was tough. So it was like, let me go back to what I was doing for the stability of that check, for me not having to hustle as hard anymore, kind of going back to what you were saying. And not for the title at all, just because I was like stability, and I was like, I'm tired of hustling. Like hustling. I had to really figure out another way for me to do exactly what I wanted to do, but a little bit more smarter. So, you know, I was able to, not only did I return to work, but I also returned back to school. Like, all right, let me go into business, because my degree was in early child education. That's not teaching me nothing, you know, for business. Like, what was I thinking? I don't know.
About the kids, Jay. What about the kids? Early childhood education, they teach you shit.
I can love them in another way, y'all.
Yeah.
But, yeah, because with that, your hands are always tied anyway. So then I jumped back, so I got out, but I also jumped back in for my kids. So I had to like meet a purpose. I knew I was only going back to work for a little while, and it was probably even shorter than what I thought, because again, my health became a factor, and that was like a no, that was just it. Like that was my wake up call, my last break, where I was like, okay, this is it. I wasn't ready. I wasn't coming out until 2000. I wasn't coming out until 2019. I was like, oh, 2017 is what it is. We pushing. Started writing faster, started planning faster, started just doing things kind of like on a scale of what I normally would not have done them. But so I guess it's taken me out, and it's also brought me back. But it's brought me back in a much more powerful way because of the reasoning and how everything happened for me. Okay. So my kids are definitely my reasoning, but I realized that a lot of the things that I was dealing with and working wouldn't have me here much longer. So it was like, okay.
How about you, Aliyah?
My son is like, he's like my little motivator.
Okay.
He's like, yeah, he's like the complete opposite of how I was at that age. Like I was so timid, I barely talk, and he just talks to everybody. He's so outgoing, he's not scared of anything. I'm just like, why can't I be like that?
I want to be just like him, actually.
He's like, Mommy, I want to be like you. I said, no, I want to be like you. You be talking to everybody.
So sweet.
But he's definitely been like a big motivator, and like sometimes I'll be feeling bad because I know I'd rather be like doing stuff for him versus, you know, I travel for doing poetry sometimes, or I'm sitting in my laptop writing, trying to figure out my next move for my books and stuff. So I kind of try to include him down in what I'm doing. Like, all right, Mommy's gonna do this because like now we're writing the book actually together.
No way.
So we're actually working on a children's book together that I'm gonna let him like pick out. It's basically gonna be based on him.
Okay,
so he's gonna be able to like help me like what he wanna write about and stuff like that. So it's going to be
nice. I like that. That's decent. Include them, put them in, because either way, like you said, they have to be they're part of the journey one way or another. So you got something else there? Because I know you talked about your kids. I just didn't overlook you.
They're my motivation.
Yeah,
definitely. To be able to show them that they're capable of making decisions and deciding their own path in life, and they don't have to wait on someone else to give them opportunities. They have a strong work ethic already, you know, to know that they get up for a reason every day.
Well, your kids probably should talk to my kids. Be a little peer mentor to work opposite way. Speaking of mentors, I did want to say, so do you, any of you guys, I know you mentioned that your mentor is actually how you got started with the company because she started the company. Do any of you guys, or did you have any mentors starting out that kind of helped you get into what you're into, or just that you aspired to? I did.
I didn't share it until I got like a little bit older. So I'm like, I don't know nobody in my family that writes. Who's a writer? And the whole time my dad, I was writing stuff for my mom. Like he had stories and stuff, and she took my mom. So I'm like, your dad used to write some stories all the time, poems and stuff all the time. I was like, oh, that's where I get it from. So I got a little bit more comfortable with sharing it with them first before I started going out. So I guess that was like my little mentor.
So do you, go ahead, I'm sorry.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Aliyah Michelle. I'm here with Just Jocelyn at Talk to Me Tuesdays. Catch her every Tuesday live at 9 p.m.
Yeah, for me, my mentor is kind of like happened as it went.
Okay.
Kind of like when way before I started performing, this is crazy to think about. Like even when I was in high school, I remember like I would come home and I would just watch like spoken word videos on YouTube of my favorite poets, and like even though I had never met them, like in my head they were my mentors. And I was like, because like I had the most respect for them, and I thought they were like the coolest people ever. And like for a few years after that, like I had nothing to do with poetry or anything. But then when I came onto the spoken word scene, just like my indirect mentors became people like poets that put me on to their shows, like touring poets. One of my favorite poets, Jasmine Mans, who like, I feel like I was terrible and she like had me open her show. And she's like one of like the biggest poets on the scene right now. And to me, that kind of stuff is like, it was never like a sit down, like do this and do that, but just that insane blind faith in someone and just watching someone do their thing like at the best, highest level and being able to be a part of that for me was like, and now with like, you know, you guys and like, you know, poets in Philly that have put me on stages, like that's kind of my mentors, you know? Yeah,
the indirect mentors are definitely important because more often than not, we do have those people that, again, that we're aspiring to, and it doesn't have to be someone that you've met personally or that I know or that I talk to side by side. But I did want to ask you guys, like, with, you know, you being in the position that you're in or, you know, where you are on your journey, have you ever thought about mentoring or anybody that you're kind of, like, helping along the way or that maybe have reached out to you for that same type of inspiration?
I'm just like, I don't even know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like, I have to be honest, like, I really don't know what I'm doing. Like, I don't always know my next move. I don't know how I got here. I just kind of was just like going with the flow.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
That's important. I think that's what you tell. Like a real mentor is someone who's being transparent with you and letting you know that it's not just a bunch of fluff. I hate. That's why I go back to certain things and events and things like people like to give the fluff aspect versus okay, get to the bottom of how did you do this? What is this all about? Not make anything. It's just all about the glamour part, especially with you guys being on stage.
Yeah. Well, for me, when people DM me or writers or poets DM me saying like, "Can you look at this piece of writing?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, absolutely not.
Absolutely.
No, because it's like the way Aliyah, you can relate. It's like you wrote something from your heart, so only you know how it makes sense. How can I tell you if your heart makes sense or not? That's how I see it, right? I'm not a professor of writing. Because if I was a professor of writing or like a teacher of writing or something like that, then I could be like, oh, edit this, like this. I'm just someone like you who kind of we came into it because we had something to say,
right?
Not because we want to teach people like how to be the best like technical writer, right? Like,
but I think that's important. Just reiterating that as your response, like especially with poetry or stories and things, right from your heart. And if that's what you feel, then there is no right or wrong.
But sometimes I've been like, I'm not gonna lie, this doesn't make any sense. You had to tell them. I'm like, go put yourself out there again and see what happens.
Just try it again. Rinse and reuse, because that's not working. We had a question?
Yeah, the question was, wouldn't that be more of a thing where a person is looking at your area of expertise? So although no, you're not a teacher, you are a teacher because time has taught you what to do, what not to do. So yes, they're writing their feelings, but there's still technicalities to it that you've had to learn over time. Is that something that they're maybe looking for?
You're completely right, and I think part of my answer to this was kind of just like joking, but part of it is like you're completely right, where even if it's someone that's writing completely from their heart and I'm telling you like I can't judge this, there is definitely a ground set of like some form of I know that when you position words in this way, it has much more of an effect on the audience versus if you position them this way. And like, I do think that's something that I, just thinking about it now in this conversation, that I could be much, much better about. Because like right now I've just gotten so comfortable with like, oh, I can't do it because it's not my expertise. But I actually know I could be of such help to some people just by giving them even like a couple lines of feedback. Because I guess I am confident enough to say like I have at least, because like I think I also have been denying my skill.
That's what I was about to say. It's a confidence thing.
Exactly, because it's like I'm
not an expert.
It's not just like I don't want to do this. It's more like I think subconsciously I feel like I don't have a right, which is like maybe actually like over the years it's been so many years of writing and performing that I might not be able to give you the feedback of like a high level educator, but a couple lines of like, hey, if you like reword this part or this part, that could make a huge difference in how someone sees how writing works. you know.
And the reality is, if that person's reaching out to you, then they see a confidence or a light or an aspiration in you that you may not see for yourself. And that's what I wanted to kind of ask all of us, because I feel like we've all had those different situations or scenarios in our different areas of expertise, because I'll have people like hit me up about a million different things, because I know I do 6 million things, so not just about shows or whatever, but it's just like I used to have that where it's like, well, what are you asking me for? I just got started, or I'm trying to figure it out, or I'm just winging it, like you said, Aliyah, like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm literally just going with the flow. But then taking that step back and understanding, like, wait,
they're asking me for a reason.
you came to me. You didn't go to Google. You didn't go to Oprah. You didn't go to Aliyah. You came to me. You know what? Let me give you something. You know, and it's just like, hell yeah, put me right on up there with Oprah. So, you know, I'll start here, and you know, and I had to get that within myself. Like, you know, at the end of the day, we all think that, you know, and it's a, I call it like that battle between humble and cocky. It's just like, well, I don't want to be too cocky and thinking I'm all that, but I kind of am. You know,
That's like such a topic. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
That okay, talk about women empowerment. I think one thing that we confidently.
Y'all have a question on women empowerment too, so going back into that.
Go ahead.
Okay, because one thing I will confidently say is like I want to strive for in women empowerment is like. One thing that I see women get killed for is their confidence being taken as arrogance, or like
I've embraced it at this point.
or like or even if we do act confident, like we'll go home and be like, oh, I should have toned it down, and then we feel all this guilt, and then there's like too much where men just like are
talking heavy shit all the time. No, I talk big shit all the time.
And it's like what? And that's where it's like. Even if, let's say, like, you know, you walk into a situation or a context and you say a couple things that are a little overly confident, so what?
Because that's how I felt.
Men do it all the time. And it's like we shouldn't feel so heavy on ourselves for doing that. It's like we the world works according to people that stunt anyway. You know what I mean? Like it's like we should be able to stunt sometimes. You know what I mean? We don't have to be like thinking every single move, you know, and especially being like, it's like,
what you call it, the calculated?
We feel so bad.
Think about everything.
Yeah.
No, not.
Don't overthink it.
No, I think it's okay to be. Maybe I'm being a little bit.
It's okay to get shit.
Because if you're the shit, then you are.
But yeah, I mean, it's look at women in the mainstream, like.
That's right.
Like, and these are extreme examples, but even like Cardi B and Nicki Minaj and all these like rappers that, by normal standards, yes, they're extreme, but like their male counterparts are doing the same exact shit, but like Cardi and Nicki get taken down daily, you know, and they're doing that because they have to survive in that industry, partly. And
Partly.
But I don't know. I just think like if you look at it alone from like so people like Eminem and all, you know, who else like Offset, whatever, they're doing shit all the time. But like Cardi and Nicki get taken down.
They do. And that's true.
I'm terrible. Hey y'all, it's GoGetter Jay, and I'm here at Talk to Me Tuesdays with Jess Jocelyn. And you can catch her every Tuesday at 9 p.m. live.
The question is, and so brace yourself, ladies.
Oh shit.
How can we as women be more empowered when we have so much that divides us, such as light and dark skinned women?
Ooh! Shout out to our topic that is going to be on January, whatever the 14th. Because I'm doing a colorism episode, so we will talk more about that. But you guys can definitely, because we have a little 50 Shades of Grey up on the stage right now, so we can all answer on that. So that's separation.
Yeah. I feel like you can still be empowered. Well,
I was about to say, I can answer, but I'm going to let y'all go ahead. Because you sound like you had something. You might have something to say.
Because I just feel like, you know, growing up, like with growing up, like I didn't really like the color of my skin. And majority of the time, it wasn't because of other women, it was because of the guys. So it's like, I'm not going to pay attention to what the fuck y'all talking about. I know I'm cute, and I don't care what y'all say. And I feel like a lot of the things that divides even with the industry, is guys are saying, oh, light skin is the best skin and stuff like that. Like, I don't know what y'all talking about. I'm not I don't care if you light skin, dark skin. Like even women do it and they just feel like, oh, I'm light skin, so I'm better. It's like
I know a lot of ugly ass light skin.
I just feel like
I'm gonna just put that out there.
Light skin, dark skin, brown skin, it don't matter. Like
If
you
you
look
look
like
then
we're all
you
like, I mean, you might get white, it don't matter. Like at the end of the day, we're all women. So why allow a stigma that men created to separate us? Like that doesn't make any sense to me. It's just like how guys was trying to debate about whether or not women should be able to get abortions. How are you allowed to do that?
Right.
Like you can't
have babies.
Yeah.
Like either way, this is not your conversation.
It's not
You can't do anything either way.
They had such a strong impact on that. It's crazy. Like why are we allowing guys to have such a big impact on the way women embrace each other? Like that's stupid.
And it's so sad because it has been such a society standard for so long that I don't even think. Well, I'm not gonna say it's not guys because at the end of the day, like I guess the underlying root is still just the whole men rule the world aspect, but just implementing those standards and then it goes. I feel like it always comes back to confidence. Confidence in oneself, and it's just like. Again, with women empowerment, I gotta focus on me. If we all learn to love ourselves a little bit more, then it doesn't matter what the standards are and this, that, and the third. But they gotta be within you. I can tell you so many times you're so beautiful. But if you go in the house and look in the mirror like, oh my God, I'm so ugly, you keep looking at yourself versus the picture of such and such.
It's because like if it comes from within, if it comes from like the deepest part of yourself, I feel like you automatically just reject the other reality. You know, like you don't even consider it at a certain point.
Where you gotta take away the power from other people.
It's empower yourself. They need to start turning it, spelling it with an I. I'm gonna change. We about to change the word. We got another. Y'all know I come up with the best hashtag on this show. Empower.
That's really what I see about it is if you take away the power from somebody else regarding you and you keep it, then you're always going to be all right. And so the way that we can continue to be empowered and empower other women, if that's what somebody wants to do, is to just be an example of it. You know what I mean? For me, going back to the mentor thing too, I have mentors and I also mentor. I have mentees as well, but I also have like a BYOB program at the Andrew Hamilton School where it's just again showing me. I'm sorry.
She said, don't bring your own bottle to the school. Sipping on at the
build your own business.
Yes, nice.
So it's just again showing the children that there are people like them, entrepreneurs, poets, artists, whatever, that look like them that are empowering themselves. Like we're just being an example. And I'm really, just being an example, showing them that there are people who look like you, who live within your community, who are doing things for themselves on their own. And hey, let's show you that this is real because they don't even see it as much on the TV as they need to or hear about it on the radio. So I feel like just going in and showing them like, hey, I look like you, I talk like you, I walk like you.
And I'm doing this.
And I'm doing this. So you can do it as well. So I think a lot of times you just got to take away the power from anybody else. And the same thing I teach my kids, my son and my daughter. Don't get nobody power. You are the power. So, even when they have little issues at school, you the power. You control the whole situation. So next time, you remember you control the situation. So I think it's just keeping the power. Because nobody can
that. Nobody mentioned your Instagram post from today or yesterday.
Which one? What is that?
It was about like I commented on it and it's like you can't let other people dictate what's going on and
That's right.
It's like if your journey right now is spiritual, like people won't be able to see from the outside the progress you made. That doesn't mean that you're not making progress.
That's right.
So like your world has to be within you first.
And then just be selfish. But go ahead. I don't know if you had something to say.
No, I was saying I had to learn that.
Yeah.
So when I was younger, I was always complimented as on my beauty. And when I became a certain age, my father would tell people, "Don't tell my daughter that because I don't want her to be conceited." So at like that age of like 12 or 13, when your body's changing, you're discovering yourself. Like to hear my father say that, I'm like, why would he say that? Right?
Like my dad's being a hater.
Like being a dark skinned person, and especially a young girl, it's like we have never hear that enough. You know what I mean? But then, like you said, I had to come of age at like around 15 and realize that I'm more than just my physical appearance anyway. So once I was able to come to that understanding, that's when I became empowered within myself to say, well, irrelevant if anybody thinks I'm all that or not, I know what I'm capable of.
You set the value for yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's definitely important because again, it just goes into that like that amount of confidence and that amount of, I think it's a certain sense of selfishness that we have to have with ourselves. Like I have to be selfish with myself because again, just like you said, if I give y'all the right to tell me that I'm cute or that I'm beautiful or that I'm worthy or any of that, then you have the same amount of right to break me down.
Exactly.
I can feel like I'm the shit and then I'm listening to y'all and then I'm like, God damn it, maybe I'm not. No. I know I am, and then y'all either get on board or get out my way. That's really it. So yeah, we hope we answered you guys' question because that's just what it is. And
There's one more question.
Okay.
So, they said that this was a good topic going back to knowing the difference between being cocky and confident. The question is, what do you feel are the boundaries with that?
There should be boundaries for sure.
I disagree.
I was gonna say, I don't think there needs to be a boundary. Like at the end of the day, again, whatever builds you can break you. So if you build yourself, you break yourself.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if I want today to be GoGetter Jay, the cocky Summer, then that might be. If I want to be modest on Wednesday, I'll be modest.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, be who you are because the world is. This is the problem with the world with not to go off subject, but with like mental illness and bullying and stuff now. It's because people don't learn to be okay within their own right. We don't instill that enough into our own children to be okay. Walk up. It ain't raining. You want to walk out there with the rain boots? Go ahead.
Seriously,
and I hear it, and I have to deal with it a lot with my family and my son because my son is an introvert. He doesn't very well speak a lot, and I hear a lot, of people will say, "Oh, well, he don't speak or this and that." He is who he is. You can like it or dislike it. We can go back home.
That's right.
We have a home, thank God. We can go back in our car. I don't have to be here. He don't have to be here. I'm not answering to nobody, to no one regarding how he may act. He's not disrespectful. He's not obligated to speak to anybody other than maybe hello if he's walking in your house. But that's it. You don't have to have a conversation. So I just feel like you just gotta.
I mean, I don't really feel like it has to be any type of real boundaries. I feel like you know your worth, you know what you want, and you can be as confident as you want to be. Especially like being even with poetry, being in the industry, like people start to get to a point where they want to start getting paid for doing poetry. If I give you my price, that's my price. Like you're not gonna tell me what I'm worth.
If you don't like it, you don't afford it, then it's okay, and I'll take my time to South Beach.
And you have to, and I hate it to have to be like that because it's like I'm humbled to have so many people that want me on their shows, stuff like that. But if I feel like if I don't set the price for it, this is gonna be like, oh, take this, take anything.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. And who wants to tell me I can't? Like,
Exactly.
I'm going to set the boundary for myself.
Because you taught me, so
like other people can't set
No,
my
that's
boundary.
because like I love what you said because at least for me, like there's this I don't know, like I guess it's just ingrained to me that like I have to compromise a little bit. You can't be like fully confident, right? Like you can't be fully like that's why my like immediate answer was like, oh, there should be a boundary. But like I love what you guys said, which is like, why shouldn't we be our full selves? And if someone thinks that's really intolerable or arrogant or cocky, they can remove themselves. You're not holding anyone at gunpoint, right? So it's like I rather have the life where you're stepping into the full version of yourself than you're compromising all the time and giving people like a version of you that's not really true. Right. So yeah.
Was you gonna say something?
I just feel like I recently had this conversation with an intern where I work at, and she was like, well, what was your real honest, why she asked me that, opinion when you first met me? I'm like, well, first of all, okay, I will tell you real without you having to ask me your real honest opinion. She was like, okay. I said, some people are always gonna, in life, as a young person, be intimidated by your shine. Like you're energetic, you're beautiful, you're bright, and people are always gonna be attracted to you because you walk with a confidence. I said, but you have to learn in life, they can't let you shine in your light. Like your light is gonna be whatever it is, and if they can accept it, great, and if they can't, oh well, keep changing.
And then also,
that's so crazy.
to add to that, I just want
Sorry. because like I said, it's hard for me to speak to people. Because even if I don't come in with like this bright, like I can sit in the corner by myself and be like, oh, she thinks she better than everybody. Like, what? Like, bitch, I have anxiety. I'm
trying to get my shit
I'm like getting proud, so I'm trying to get myself.
But you know what it ends up being? No, bitch, you think I'm better than you. And that reflects on how you're feeling.
I'm so glad you mentioned that right before I was going to say this. Is like, only you know what you've gone through.
Right.
So, even if someone else perceives you as such a way, it's like, you know why you're this way because of like the 20, 30, 40 something years of life you've experienced. So you know why you're acting this way.
Right.
So you're not gonna sit and explain to every room you go in like why you're acting this way. Why, like if someone doesn't like it, they can remove themselves. You're not forcing anyone.
Because that's the person said to me. She was like, you know, I watched you walk by, you know, the room, and she was like, you come off like, you know, she tried to be statuesque. I said, okay, and she said, but you're really not like that. I said, but don't tell nobody.
Right. I think the only boundary that should exist with this whole cocky, confident, arrogant thing is if it's false.
Yeah.
Don't be fake fronting, like, cause now you have those people that you put on this persona, like I feel like I'm happy and I feel like I'm the shit, and I'm acting like I'm like better than everybody because
when it's fake, right?
It's just like whoa, calm the hell down. But so I think that's really the only boundary. So it's really based on what everybody said that. It's all about how you feel. If that's really how you feel about yourself, then be honest and be true to that. But then the flip to that is, and I say this to anybody who may be watching that feel like they have to be that extra confident person, especially in situations where you are around some other really confident people. So that's like, oh, let me try to fit in, let me walk like this person, let me talk like this person.
Be yourself before you.
Take your time and find that confidence within, and then it's going to shine in whatever way, because confidence doesn't look the same when everybody. It doesn't always look like something like this. Like I talk loud, but you may not talk loud. You talk quiet, but you're just as confident as myself. So it's really just about finding it within yourself, and that's really the only boundary. When you feel like you're pushing it or overdoing it or lying to yourself, because that's really all you're doing is being inauthentic and lying to yourself. And people are either looking through you or seeing through you, or they really don't give a shit.
Right.
Because, you know, again, that comes from within.
Right.
So real quick, because I know we're kind of coming down on time, I just need to know, because you guys are all doing amazingly great things, and of course I was so glad to have y'all all here, but I want to know real quick if we can share like our accomplishments, because we're talking about confidence and you guys are all doing some dope things. So with us coming to the end of the year, like what's your greatest accomplishment to date? It can be this year, 2019, because I know we all had a nice little roller coaster, or just to date, what have you been doing? Whether it's business, personal, spiritual, whatever the case. I know these are so accomplished ladies here.
I think my biggest thing was writing my book. Like even I remember one of my older brother's friends, who I haven't spoken to in years, like she messaged me a while ago and was like, I went to my friend's house in Florida and your book was on their nightstand. I was like, and even like I had someone, they traveled to London. It was like, you know, you have a fan in London. Like I was performing out in London. Like that's crazy.
That's lit.
Remember, I posted you one time and I was sitting next to you, and one of my followers was like, oh, like, you know, Leah wanted to come out to Philly to see her or something like that. Remember? Oh, you remember that time? And I was like,
how did your childhood get you to this point where you are now?
Being able to utilize your child. You know how when you're young and you ask your kids, or somebody might ask you like, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? I think that is what got me here to where I am now, because you always ponder, what do I want to be? I'm 37, my sister, what do I want to be?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, so I think just your childhood gets you to where you are as an adult by always just being your one true self. Just keep that child in you. Like, you know what I mean? I'm really silly, so I just like, keep the child in you. Anybody else?
Because again, like I said, I didn't talk.
Okay.
Like literally didn't talk. My parents didn't know I knew how to talk till I was like 3.
Wow.
And the whole time I was talking, but I would only talk to my older sister. So when they found out, they was like, why didn't you just say anything? Like they literally told my sister was lying the whole time, like, oh, Loresa, she ain't said nothing. She was a new girl, like, I was good. Like they thought something was wrong with me. And they're like, why didn't you say something? I really just didn't know. I didn't know. I was like being in my own little bubble. But getting older and realizing like
I did miss out probably on a lot of opportunities, or I had situations that happened where I probably should have spoken up and I didn't. So I just wanted to, as I got older, I'm like, I need to start talking. Like, I need to say something because people are going to think like I'm 3 years old again. Like I can't talk about it.
I was like Aliyah when I was younger. I used to go to my family's house, and my aunt, I would never forget, she had a set of encyclopedias, children's encyclopedias in her house. And every time we went to her house for the holiday, I would be in the corner reading the children's encyclopedias. I didn't talk a lot, but I'm the youngest of my siblings. So growing up for me, it helped me find my voice to be able to know. And I tell this to my own daughter, the oldest one, your voice is worth listening to. Like you are heard, you should be heard, and be confident in what you have to say. Because I didn't really grasp an understanding of that until college. I mean, even though I did other things, I wasn't really outgoing, but somehow people saw a light in me that I didn't necessarily see in myself. And it wasn't until I went into college that I really kind of embraced that within myself. So being a very shy, introverted person, I understand what you mean because I don't talk a lot. So when people do get to know me, they're like, you're not like what I thought you were. I'm like, well.
Oh man, I actually don't even know how to answer that, but I think it was kind of my answer to the first question, which is like, aside from my culture, like I was also, maybe like a lot of us, I was super shy. I just was like a mute too. I kind of just showed up, my body, and like, I didn't talk much. My mom would even say when I was a baby that she would just like put me down, or like even a toddler in one place, and I would just not move, not talk for hours unless like directed otherwise. Like so, I like just didn't talk a lot. I think like I'm overcompensating for a cow, like saying everything I ever wanted to say. So yeah, my childhood, I can't think of how to answer that, but it's a really good question, and I'm gonna think about it more.
I think that honestly, my childhood is the reason that I am this way. Like it's a matter of being able to embrace. Like I've always been this way, you know. And I never was ashamed of it, but I never realized how it affected other people. You know, I've always been really outspoken, so it sounds like the opposite. Which is like, I guess I'm the one with the talk show, and you guys are already talking. But I think just a matter of like being able to capitalize on it at this point. Like, well, I've always been outspoken. I've always been myself. I've always, had that, not that light as if, I'm here to shine for everybody, but I've just always been really free and free-spirited. So now I'm just at a place where I'm able to make that work for me, opposed to trying to make people comfortable or figuring out putting myself in situations that I don't need to be. And it's like, no, I'm here, or I'm not here, and I'm not coming, I'm not doing this, and then just being okay with that, situation and being okay with who I am. So that's how my childhood affected me, just being able to actually realize and look back and see, like, I've always been like this, and I've always gotten, whether it was complimented for it or just recognized for it, negatively or positively, but still just staying true to myself all this time. So that's why I'm branded Just Be You, because somebody gonna fuck with it one way or another. So that was a dope question. Shout out to our audience member that gave us that question last minute, and it was a little young queen. So once again, guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all of my guests. This one already has been left. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Talk to me today. It's fresh and it's juicy. Every week a new topic, and we can get it chopping. Talk to me Tuesday. It's fresh and it's juicy. Every week a new topic, and we can get it chopping.